Hello, so I got to talk on this mic. It's not karaoke, darn it, because people won't hear me. Sure, it's on. Can you guys hear me now? Yes. So way too loud. Yes. So I'm Cathy Black. Have I seen anybody before? Have I ever done ergonomic for any of you guys before? Okay. So you know I'm going to try to talk slow. They told me that I talk too fast. Okay, first of all, before I even talk about like how you're sitting or the things that you might need or equipment, it's very important for ergonomics that you also think about what's around you. If you don't have natural light in your space, please make sure that anytime you have a break or you get up or you do anything, you don't have to actually go outside, but natural light is great. If you have these horrible like fluorescent lights and you don't like them and you can turn them off, I always tell people just buy a cheap lamp and put a good bulb in it. Make sure that you have things to bring in if you're cold or a fan if you're hot. If you're not comfortable, I don't care what I do for you or tell you how to sit or anything of equipment, you're going to be miserable. So remember to keep that in mind. A lot of people also, especially surgeons, are like me. I'm a little OCD. I don't like to walk around things. So I just make I don't know, they say it feng shui, but if you need to move some things in your office because you come in every day and it's frustrating that you have to walk around something, just change it. I can help you with that as well. The next thing I want to get into, the most important thing that you have to remember is movement, because we can't sit all day and we can't stand all day. And we think we have to, like, we got to get this report done and everything else. And it's so hard on us. So even if you just have to get up, walk around your chair a couple times, make sure you take longer walks to the bathroom, get up and do an OHIO, which I might make you guys do in 20 minutes, because every time I do a class, I do that. It's not the only classes I teach, so I torture facilities all the time. Just make sure that you're moving more often. And that includes changing your posture. Your next posture is your best posture. I always say that. You can lean up and type. You can sit back and type. You can put your feet on the desk, unless you don't get fired for that, but whatever. The more you move around is the best. If anybody has kids and you have an 8-year-old boy, that's the way we should be. Their bodies are telling them what they're supposed to do, and we don't do it. We think we have to sit all day long or stand all day. It's not good for you. Make sure you're changing that up as much as you can, okay? I'm going to get to see, I'm talking too fast. I know this. So I made them bring a chair for me. I don't do PowerPoints. If I could do PowerPoints, I'd just send you one. I would never come out and look at your space. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about a chair. So they brought me an office chair. It's really yucky, so it's perfect for you guys. So every chair has an up and down function. It's usually on the right-hand side. So I'm going to show you where you should be, and you're probably going to go, I can't do that. So this is too high, right? This is too high. What you're looking for is for your knees need to be in line with your hips. It's 90 degrees. Don't keep that in mind. This chair might not even go down to where I need to. I should be right here. My knees should be in line with my hips. And the reason why is if you're any higher than that, your body thinks you're going to fall out of the chair. You won't notice it. But over time, your body thinks you're going to fall out of this chair. So the lower you sit in it, the better you are. That's why we like couches. You know, we sit all the way back into them. That's why we like being in our cars and we can adjust the seats just like we like. It's perfect. The other thing is, oh, this chair is awful. The other thing, this is the seat pan. So the seat pan that you're sitting on should go all the way up to your knee. You should be able to get one finger in here. Some chairs have adjustabilities. This might. We're going to see if this one does. So it does. It's not great, but you can look and see if you do have an adjustability for that. They can't stand them. So the more space that you have to sit on, the better your back's going to like it. So just keep that in mind. Now, also, if the back goes back, you should do that once in a while. That'll get some of that weight off your lower back. It gets you in a different position, get your shoulders out, and that's okay. I know people think this is like you know, I'm slouching like a teenager. No, it's good for you to change those postures. If you like sitting up while you're working, that's great. But once you're taking a break or you're reading an email, you're doing a phone call, get in that different position. Now you're going to go back and you're going to go, look, I can't sit that low because my desk is so high. And that is typical. Most desks are built for 6'1" people. They want to get the majority of people under your desk, right? That's what they want. I mean, they're not going to make desks for 5'5" because then you can't get anybody taller under it. And that is typical. And there's a couple of things you can do about that. I think everyone should have a footstool. Everyone should have a footstool. The foam ones I like the most. If you're in med center, you might have to have plastic for cleaning purposes. But not just to use continuously, but to get your feet up back and forth. It's great. I really love it. You guys are eating right now. I'm going to pick on this gentleman up front. I'm sorry about that. You see where his arms are? And when you are getting relaxed and you're talking to people, where does your arms go? Right here. See that? This is where we're most comfortable. This is where you should be typing. And that's really hard because most of us don't want to use a keyboard tray. I don't want to use a keyboard tray. It scratches my knees. It tears up my pants. It won't if it's a good one. And if you're using it the way it should be, it's good. I can't tell you guys, I can't get your department to buy you a standing desk and a sit desk. I would love that. But mainly on the sit stand desk, I'd rather them go down than up because we would sit longer than we stand most of the time. But a keyboard tray is great. They're not made like they used to. They're not shelves anymore. So it's an option. If you don't have that option, bring your chair up as high as you can. I mean, so you're typing more like this, not like this. I want you to walk around offices and look. This is probably what you see all the time. Are you ready for this one? This is everyone, right? Because we don't realize that we can change it. We fit our bodies to the equipment. No, make the equipment fit you. I tell this to a lot of people. Now, this is a horrible chair, but it's an office chair. Those chairs, I never want you to be in for sitting all day right here. These are conference chairs, in and out, 20 minutes, in and out. If you don't have a decent chair that you love, the first thing you should do, and I tell everyone this, email everyone in your department. See if there's a chair not being used. See if there's a chair that you can switch. You probably have a hard time getting in a chair. You know why? They make chairs for people like me, 5'6" and 125. That's who they make them for. They don't make them for people that are, 6 feet and 250. But they make the desk for that. So it's just beyond me that what they do that. So also, if you see this screen, this handout this is a brand new handout. So I'm sorry. I found this and I like it way more than the one that we had on our online. But if you look, she has a keyboard tray, obviously. But look at the monitors. I want you to look at the monitor. And if you don't think your monitor should be lower, and it probably isn't, I want you to pick up your phone and I want you to read the text. And do you do this on your text? Nope. We read it down here, just like a book. This monitor is a book. It's not entertainment. We're not watching television. We're reading it all day long. I want you to keep that in mind. Please put that as low as you can. Our eyes naturally look down. They never naturally look up. And if it's here, you're going to use your neck all day long. And tilt it out like we do our phones and our books. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how well that works. So next is so the keyboards are hard, right? I mean, I'd like to have a Dragon program. Does everybody know what a Dragon program is? Just talk to your computer and just prints it out. Yeah, but we're not going to get those. So just make sure that you like your keyboard. Mine is tiny. I don't need all that extra stuff on the side. I like it small so I can get my mouse closer to my body. The bigger the mouse, the better the mouse. This is natural. This is ergonomically correct, not this. We hold it all day long. Can't have doorknobs anymore. Why? that's really hard on us once we get older. So the bigger the mouse. Your kids have gaming mice and they're nice and big because they're smarter than us sometimes. They know that bigger and sideways. Also, and I tell people, use it in your non-dominant hand once in a while. Oh, I can't do that. I can't. You learn how to use it in your right hand or your dominant hand. You can learn how to use it in that. At first, you just put it over in the other hand, just to try something different. It'll get your right hand or your dominant hand out of using it, and it'll be a new pathway to your brain, which they have proven helps with Alzheimer's. So it's a good thing. And also, I'm so sorry, I forgot. So the monitors also, please, if you are leaning up to your monitor, make that monitor come to you. It's okay. You can bring the font up, you can bring it closer. It doesn't have to be so far away. It doesn't. You're trying to fit it to what you need it to be, you know? So, see, I got off. I don't do well for these big, so I'm so sorry. The chair is what I meant to say. If you can't find another chair, nobody has any chairs that you can go there. You know that Surplus once a month has free office equipment and stuff like that, that you can go once a month and go look at that. I'll be happy to meet you. It's the first Monday of the month. I'd be happy to go there with you and see if they had a chair. You have to buy it. You have to do a PO 0 and pick it up, but it's an option if you hate your chair, or if the bottom of it, it's so eaten up that you need a new one, or if it's, I don't like mesh. I don't like plastic. If I can't sleep on it, I don't want to sit on it. So that's the way I look at it. Also, if you do have a standing desk, if you're lucky enough to have a standing desk, remember, I don't want you standing all day either. It's just as bad as sitting. And if you're going to stand, your arms need to be at a 90 degree or lower, never higher, because that's going to be your shoulders. I'd like you to have an anti-fatigue mat. It can be a cheap one from Big Lots for all I care. It can be a piece of rubber. I just don't want you to be on this all day. But you should be sitting for a while, 40 minutes, 45. Go take a walk, stand up for 20 minutes, go take a walk, stand a little bit longer, take a walk. See where I'm going here with this? And then sit back down. If you can't get a standing desk, just make sure you're doing stuff to make yourself move around. It's so, so important. So I know there's physicians here, especially in the hospital. I have been shocked to go in, and they're 3 feet by 3 feet spaces. Their desks are way too high, and they just don't have a way to move. And I don't know what to do about that, but as long as you can move around, if you get a personal phone call, walk it. Don't sit, do it. Anything that you can do to make yourself move. If you're still holding your phone and doing computer work, ask for a headphone. Med Center has thousands of them. I've seen them because everybody had one at one time, and they don't really need them. Like I said, this new one, read it. It's I am going to change this or whatever, but just remember that ergonomics is, we want you to be comfortable where you're at, and we don't tend to do that very often. We always make our bodies adapt to what we have. And just because they give you a new space to work in or a new desk to work in, you do not have to do that. If you have a laptop, if you're lucky enough to have a laptop, move it somewhere else. Go into your kitchen and stand up for a little bit, kitchenette or whatever at work. Anything to change that dynamic. It's so for this class, it's very hard for me to do you guys individually, because I might say something different for every one of you doing something. But for me, you know, try to adjust this chair as much as you can. The back should always, always, always go up to at least your shoulders. I know a lot of people don't do that. You need a lot of sitting space, and it should be comfortable to you. You know, if the seat is too small, you need something else. But just remember that you can move around in it. And I do realize that departments don't have a pot of gold, and they don't want to do that. But just simply changing with somebody else, or raiding somebody's office that has left. I do that all the time. You know, or anything like that will help. but just keep that in mind. But also just comfort, and try not to sit longer for a 30-minute period. And if that's just standing up and stretching, then that's good. But I'd rather you not do that. If you can eat at your space, then walk during your lunch. So, anybody have any questions? Yes, I talk too fast. I know that. We're starting to look into ergonomics for other things, but this university is very important for office ergonomics because we're the ones that sit the longest. You know, the admin, people like me too, I might sit too long one day, but like for lab people, they're worried about that, or construction people, but they get to move around way more than we do. So I just want you to keep that. Also, I keep slippers underneath my desk. Is whatever shoes I'm going to wear, I'm not going to wear. I know I talk too long. Usually if I'm working with you one-on-one, I might change things while I'm there. If you have two screens, try to them as close as possible so you're not looking way over here. You know, you have two screens, and if you're sitting like this and they're over here and you're looking over here, just try to put yourself in the middle. Most of us have two screens now. So is there any questions? That went way too fast, I know. I do talk fast. No questions?
So if we're getting a new chair, like, are there key things we should look for?
Yes.
I said this when I was roaming around.
This is a great chair. So it should go as low as you need it, okay? That's the biggest part I have, especially with people that are like 5'5" and under. So it's a cylinder, and all of them will have it to where this doesn't go low enough for me, and I'm 5'5.5". It really should go a little bit lower. The seat pan should move back and forth because all of us have different size thighs. The back should go up to your shoulders. I mean, you can go higher. I don't suggest the headrests. Have you ever gotten into a car and there's a headrest and it doesn't sit right? You're like, okay, I don't know where this is supposed to go. That's the way the chairs are too. You don't necessarily need a headrest, but you do need to have it up to your shoulders because you want your whole back covered. Armrests. Here's the thing with the armrest. I don't really use mine very often, but if you think you're going to use it and they're hard as a rock, and you love the chair, great. There are things out there on Amazon for like, I don't know, $15. You can get a piece of foam and it has a shower cap on it, for a lack of a better word, and you just sew it back on there. Again, if you're going to lean on something and you can't sleep on it, I don't want you doing it. I don't want you leaning on your table, on your desk, on here. Try to get some foam or even those wrist rests. Wrist rests I don't care about, but if you're leaning on a hard surface, I would rather you not. Because if you're leaning on your desk on here, you're not going to feel it here. You're going to feel it here. You're going to feel it here because it's just going to cut off blood flow and nerves. So you want it to go down as far as that you can. C-pan has to move back and forth. See, there's too much space here. If this was correct, I'll try to sit back. So should have one finger in between the end of the seat pan and the inside of your knees. That's what you want. And it should be comfortable for you. If you run super, super hot, buy a mesh back. Me, I like cushion. I don't like mesh and I don't like plastic on the bottom, but some people love it. I don't. So make sure that you're comfortable in it. Here's another thing. I really try to tell people, if you're going to buy a decent chair, make that vendor bring it to you. You ever bought a pair of shoes? You get them on, you're in the store. Man, these are great. I'm going to love these. 3 days later, you're walking in, man, these shoes are awful. They hurt my feet. And that's the way chairs are sometimes. You're going to spend money. Now, a lot of people, especially managers, say, oh my gosh, that's so much money. I can't believe it. You're in your chair longer than your mattress sometimes. You should spend more money on your chair than your mattress. It's okay. Most chairs are $1,000. That's just typical. So we get discounts in OSU. But that's what you're looking for. You need it high enough. The back should go back and forth. You know, you should be able to sit back sometimes. I think this one does. It's not really that bad. It's just an older one. And you should be able to and you should really like it. And I love it when they come in, they'll let you try one for like 2 weeks or something. And then they come in sizes as well. So if you like a little bit bigger chair, or your thighs are a little bit longer, or you're just a big guy. We've hired ex-football players. They can't sit in these. These are Barbie chairs. We have to get them a better chair. So that's what you're really looking for. If you can't have a sit-stand desk, I think everyone should have a keyboard tray. Doesn't always work that way. Everyone should have a footstool. They're very inexpensive. They're great to have. You twist your ankle one day, it's great to put it up there. That's just something I just think everyone should have. Any other questions?
Is there a way to tell if neck and shoulder stiffness, tightness is from your chair or if it's from stress? And if so, like, how would you tell?
Working at OSU, stress? No, just kidding. Okay. There's not a lot of way to tell. Most of the time, it can be the chair, but most of the time it's because we're in that same position all day, right? You're looking and it's that same thing. Tell someone that you work with to take a look at you, what positions that you're in. Is your neck looking up all the time? Are you holding your shoulders like this? Are you leaning on hard surfaces? Are you holding your mouse all day long? If I told you to take an ink pen out and hold it for 8 hours a day, all week long, you think you could do it? That's what we do to our mice. We just hold it so tight. We just do it. And it's a little bit of stress. It's all those things. So I tried it. That's why I say you got to move it. Your next posture is your best posture. Definitely the equipment that you have. I know I've been to a lot of places that have shocked me. College of Nursing and OSU East had wooden chairs. No lie, 6 months ago. Thank goodness that Heminger came in. They got all their older stuff. Because some of the stuff is just older and we think that we have to use it and we can't change it, or we can't change the way it is, or we can't move, like we have to move our bodies to whatever that we're doing. We don't have to do that. It's not great. It's not perfect. Believe me, I wish I had a pot of gold and just gave everybody great things to use. But I want you to do some of the work too. And it is, we stress out when we're working too. We don't realize how much we do it. And we're so static. I mean, 8 hours, could you sit on the couch for 8 hours and watch a movie? Oh, don't say that. Okay, maybe you could binge something, but you know what I'm saying. So we tend to get up more. So just get up more. And like I said, get a coworker to take a look at you and see how you look. Like, are you leaning on one side, or so it could be either. It could be either. It can be a chair too. Chairs are very hard. I mean, if they're really, really old and like being an old mattress, it could be that too. Anybody else? Are the salads good? No.
Another online question.
Okay.
Not here. Where should lumbar support be on your back?
That's a good question. If you can see this chair really has no lumbar support. But if you have to put in extra lumbar support, this is not the chair for you. A lot of people want to put that thing in there and it kind of pushes them up and you have no support back here, or it pushes you off the chair. Some of them do. It's adjustable in the back. This one's not. You can move it back and forth to where it's more comfortable for you. Here's the thing. And I have talked to Dr. Alan Hedge at Cornell University, and it's hard to say where a lumbar support should be, because for me, I blew a disc, but it's really low and I like extra comfort, but some people like it right there in the middle of their backs. So that's really for you to say. But there are chairs out there that move it back up and down to where it's more comfortable. But I haven't seen one that I have loved, the ones that you can add. But if you put one in there and you love it, great. Not everybody fits in that box. Not everybody fits in this ergonomic box that we think that's perfect. But if you find something that you love, that's great. And I'm sorry, that's kind of vague. It's just one of those hard things. gonna have to do one of those Buckeye Wellness things where you're stretching your back. I don't know, So, any more?
We do have another one online if there's not.
That's fine.
Are there any tips for mouse-related RSIs, tendinitis, coldness, numbness, etc., or eye strain and impair?
Say that again. Sorry.
Any tips for mouse-related RSIs, tendinitis, coldness, numbness, things like that?
Definitely. So mice are, like I said, a nemesis for us because we tend to use whatever they give us. Those little tiny dells, which I wish they just throw in the trash. The bigger ones are better. If she's having that much trouble, she probably should get checked out, make sure it's not carpal tunnel. More of the carpal tunnel, they have a carpal tunnel mouse that's sideways now. There's a big one sideways and then there's a joystick mouse one, and it really changes. A lot of people that got them love them. But the bigger it is, the better it is, because this is so hard on us and we tend to just hold on to it. Yeah, so definitely if they've used it long enough, she's probably is having issues. Tell her to text me. Anybody can email me. You have any other questions? You want me to come see your space? I would love to. No problem. But I'd like to talk. That's probably needs a little bit more explanation than what I can get to.
That individual also asked about eye strain.
Yeah. Yes. So for me, I have bifocals. I'm 60. Excuse me. I have trifocals now. So I have to tell a lot of people, you can bring your font open. I don't care what people say. You should see my phone. People make fun of me all the time. I don't care. That's just you should bring your monitors close to you. And there's another tip that I say, and I really hate to say this because people with glasses, we have to pay for stuff that other people don't. But when she goes to the eye doctor, the best thing you can do is tell them how long you're working on your computer and that you want computer glasses. And what they do is tell them you want those free frames that are in the drawer. They're there. And just to give you the prescription for your computer, and just leave them by your computer at work or at home, whatever, because we tend to have, especially if she has bifocals or they do this all day long and it really does strain your eyes. So to get the one vision that they need in a size this big is great. I have them and it's helped tremendously. And I have my screen closer to me because I want it to be. If I'm reading a book and I can't read it out here, I'm going to bring it up here. So remember that, because we tend to do that. So we're straining our eyes. So make sure that they're getting their eyes done. And then computer glasses are they've been a godsend for me. So I hear it. It's okay.
The computer glasses, is that the one with the blue light filter?
You can. That's not what I'm talking about. For someone like me that has a prescription, and I'm each eye is different. So I drive with the top, computer's kind of in the middle, and then I read through the bottom. Even though I can read without them, I can't read through them. So that middle one where they test you, say I'm on the computer 8 hours a day and I need glasses for that. They will test you to see what your eyes are capable of, and they'll just make a whole glass for you instead of making it trifocals. And it's a lot cheaper, and you can keep them there, and that'll help your strain, and it'll help you from doing this all day long. And I think it's really hard on us. I think it's really, really hard on your eyes after a while. Yes.
I just would like to second that. I have the same profile like his vision wise, and I do have computer glasses. Changed my life.
Yes. Good. And it is true. Or you can just use an old pair of glasses that you have. Don't buy the frames. Don't let them talk into that. You don't need that, right? I just used an old one, and it makes a huge difference. Huge difference.
We have another online one.
That's fine.
What about sitting with your feet a bit under the chair on the frame holding the wheels?
I don't care. Just try not to do it all day long. So this is me. I wish I had it. So this is me all the time. Or I'm either like this, or I'm like this, or my feet are up on my desk. My boss comes by, get out of my office. Get out. So if you're comfortable, that's fine. Just try not to do it all day long. The more you move, the better I like it. And I have ladies that put one leg underneath their other leg. if you're comfortable doing it, it's fine. I don't even notice it anymore. And lab people have to do that. Wish they didn't have to do that. And that's fine. Just remember to move it. Don't leave it like that 8 hours. It's fine. And like I said, not everybody fits in that box. More comfortable. Anything else? Oh, God. I got through this. Here's the funny thing. So someone asked me today, I was like, when I talk to people all the time, you know, one-on-one, blah, blah, blah. This is fine. Someone comes up to me today and says, aren't you nervous? I'm like, now I am. Great, thanks. I mean, no, I wasn't before. So thank you. If I didn't get through something, you have a question, please email me. It's probably not up there.
Send it out.
Yeah, send it out. Please ask me. I really want to do it. This university was, you know, it's not, there's no OSHA standard for it. So it's kind of like they didn't really want to do these and I took them all over. I'm like, I will do them all day long. I don't know if I can help you, but if he can help you just a little bit, that'll make my day. Okay. So thank you. I didn't talk too fast, right? I tend to.
That was good. Thank you so much, Cathy. That was great information that we can all take, whether we're working in the office, at home, or the hybrid setting. So like I said, I will make sure everyone has Cathy's email. I'll send it out in the follow-up email, as well as a link to the worksheet.
One more thing.
Yeah.
If you want me to look at your home, once I say COVID, I will too. I'll Zoom you. And then I'll make fun of your home also.
For those online, if you couldn't hear, she said she will Zoom with you if you want her to look at your home office. She may or may not make fun of it and laugh a little bit. So normally, like I mentioned at the beginning, we do hard copies of our evaluations, QR codes on the screen. I will send out the link for online folks as well. But if you're here and it works to scan it with your phone, you can do that and do it through there. Or you can type in the go.osu.edu/LLeval. That'll also take you to it, but it will be sent out in an email if that's easier for you. But please, please, please fill it out. We want your feedback. We want to hear what you want, what topics, speakers, any suggestions that you have. And it really just helps us better our programming. So with that, I'll leave the Zoom up for a little bit in case any questions come in or whatnot. But everyone have a great rest of your Friday, a great weekend. Hopefully the rain stops soon, and go Buckeyes.
Do it.